everyone, I am the Sports Wiz 101, and today I'll be giving you my predictions for Week 15 of the NFL season. So, predicting all of the games set to take place in Week 15. We are officially done with bye weeks as of this past week. So, everyone playing every week from now until the end of the regular season. With that said, we've been fairly consistent as of late, getting around 9 to 10 correct picks. For example, last week we went 9-5. Not bad. Certainly would like to do better. That said, we'll take a look at Week 15, and it starts with my Kansas City Chiefs as they host the LA Chargers. The Chiefs are now on the unfortunate end of a playoff scenario. They could be eliminated from the playoffs this week. And while the scenario is more than just lose to the Chargers, I do think they miss the playoffs if they lose to the Chargers. If they're able to win this game, though, you would think that the Chiefs have very much a chance to make the playoffs. Of course, the Chiefs coming off of an embarrassing loss to the Houston Texans, a loss that kind of makes you want to bang your head into your floorboards for 5 hours straight while listening to Daniel Powder's Bad Day on a 5-hour loop while crying yourself to sleep. Not that I would know by any stretch of imagination. When did the Big Dipper get here? Anyway, the Chiefs, of course, absolutely need to win this game. Chargers, you'd like to eliminate a division rival if you're LA. Of course, coming off of a huge win against the Philadelphia Eagles this past Monday night. Game goes to overtime. They're able to intercept Jalen Hurts to seal it, and it feels like everything is pointing to pick the Chargers, pick the Chargers, pick the Chargers. But I can't deny what my heart says, which is I've got to side with the Chiefs at least one more time. Yes, the offensive line is in poor shape right now. Yes, the receiving core of the Chiefs kind of sucks right now. And you gotta be honest, the Chiefs took on a poor offensive line of the Texans. Chargers' offensive line should be better, so the Chiefs probably won't get the kind of pressure they got on the Texans last week. Even then, it wasn't very good pressure, at least not for the first half. But my heart still says go KC. So I'll go with the Chiefs as they try to stay away from elimination this week. Moving on, Ravens and Bengals could be a big one in the AFC North. Cincinnati going for the season sweep, and I will take the Bengals. I think that with Joe Burrow as the quarterback, this offense is working pretty good right now. Do I think they're going to come up with like 5 turnovers defensively against the Ravens? No. I don't quite think that's going to happen. But you also have to remember Cincinnati tends to turn it on late in the year. I think they're going on a bit of a win streak here. And unfortunately for Baltimore, it'll include both of the Raven-Bengal games. So I'll take Cincinnati. Bills-Patriots. New England coming off a bye. Huge game. Patriots can lock up the AFC East if they win this one. Of course, the key word there, if. And here, I'm going to take the Bills. I think that the Bills' offense is rolling at a good time. They are got pretty much everything in place offensively. And I think that at the very least, Josh Allen will not let the Patriots lock up the division this early. I'll take the Bills. Jets and Jaguars, call us my lock of the week. I'll take the Jaguars. Jacksonville has a good run defense. It's going to force the Jets to have to throw the ball. Definitely not a position you want to be in if you're the Jets. Jacksonville rolls in an easy win. And then we got the Monday night game. It's the Dolphins and the Steelers going at it. Miami probably needs to win this game in order to still have a reasonable shot at the postseason. I don't think it happens. Give me Pittsburgh. I think Aaron Rodgers has himself another good game. And can't forget about that Steeler pass rush going up against the Dolphins. Moving on, looking at elsewhere, it's the Cardinals and the Texans. Houston is just on fire right now, so I'll take them to beat Arizona here. I could see Houston making a run towards the AFC South Division title the way they're playing. And the Cardinals having to play the rest of the season without Kyler Murray. I think that Houston comes away with a convincing win here. Speaking of convincing wins, I think Chicago gets one of those against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland has been a bit better offensively since they went to Shedeur Sanders as their quarterback. That being said, Chicago, I think, will be their toughest test since Shedeur got the start. And I think Chicago will kind of humble the Browns offense. Give me Chicago. And I think the Eagles get back in the win column with a win over the Raiders, who in recent years this hasn't quite been the case, but the Raiders tend to struggle when they have to go to the East Coast. I think they struggle here against an Eagles team that might be a bit more desperate for a victory here. So I'll take the Eagles. And then we got another seemingly easy one. And yeah, I'll take the Niners coming off the bye to take down Cam Ward and the Titans. I think the Titans offense will struggle against that 49er defense. And San Francisco will not have to do a lot to get into the win column. So yeah, I'll take the 49ers. Colts and Seahawks. This one was looking pretty interesting. And then Daniel Jones got hurt. And Anthony Richardson is on IR. And the Colts might have to roll out an injured Riley Leonard at quarterback. But hey, maybe they don't. Maybe they can just turn to 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. Man who hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in 5 years. A man who is a grandpa. So yeah, either way, I think the Colts are, for lack of a better term, screwed. I think they need good quarterback play in order to win in Seattle, and I don't think they're going to get that. Give me Seattle. Packers Broncos. This one, probably the toughest one of the week for me to pick. You want to make a case that Green Bay could win this? I could definitely see it. But I think Denver wins this game. I think Denver locks up a playoff spot. And a lot of it has to do with Green Bay having to go a mile high. That's a great home field advantage. But I also think that Bronco defense is going to keep it close with the Packers, which will allow Bo Nix a chance in the final minutes to drive down the field. Nix has been an incredibly clutch quarterback. I wouldn't quite say a good quarterback, but he's been incredibly clutch. And I think he pulls out another game-winning drive this Sunday against the Packers. Now, looking elsewhere, Thursday Night Football, it's the Falcons and the Buccaneers going at it in Tampa. Buccaneers just today activated a couple of wide receivers off of injured reserve, most notably Mike Evans. So Evans, you're probably too late to get to 1,000 receiving yards. He'd have to go on a Herculean run in order to make that a possibility. And the Falcons, they've been good against the pass this year. But I still don't trust the Falcons offense, especially when it's being led by Kirk Cousins. Give me Tampa. Commanders, Giants, New York coming off the bye. Sounds like it'll be no Jaden Daniels once again for the Commies. So, I look for this to be a close, defensive-minded ball game. But I'll take the team that I think actually has the better quarterback right now, and that's the Giants with Jackson Dart. Then we have the Rams and the Lions going at it. Two good, possibly great teams going at it. Two teams that could very well win the NFC. I would not be surprised. Probably be a bit more surprised if the Lions won it, but still wouldn't be that surprised. And this is going to go down to my upset of the week because I got the Lions as 5.5-point underdogs. Just the position that Dan Campbell wants to be in. I just have the gut feeling that Detroit has a good offensive game. Did not like being burned by the Rams a couple weeks ago when they played the Panthers, and I called it my lock of the week, a game they wound up losing. But I do think that the Lions can get the job done. They can move the ball through the air against this Ram defense, and I think they get the win. And it's the Panthers, those aforementioned Panthers, coming off the bye and head to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Carolina, they are in the middle of a playoff race. 7-6, tied with Tampa, and if my predictions hold true, they need to win this to stay up there with Tampa. And I think they do get the win in the Superdome over a Saints team that is just has been struggling. They did win last week in Tampa, so from there, I guess it would not be surprising if the Saints were to come out with a win here. However, I do think Carolina, coming off the bye, they'll be motivated to try to keep up with Tampa, try to get into the postseason. And that Carolina will win this game. That takes us to the Sunday night game, Vikings and Cowboys. I'm sure this looked good on paper at some point, but that day is not today. Maybe if J.J. McCarthy had been the guy the Vikings thought he was going to be, but that's just not the case. Here, I'll take the Cowboys. Their offense has been working. The defense has been better. And yeah, I feel like it's mostly a case of me picking the better offense, and that belongs to Dallas. But there you go. There's my picks for Week 15 of the NFL season. If you like this, please like and subscribe. For more to come in the following weeks, I've been the Sports Quiz 101, and I will see you all